Hello, virtuous thought leaders, scholars, and virtue change agents. My name is Dr. Lisa Marie Portugal, and I am the Leadership Architect. I'd like to welcome you today to another talk that I have prepared for you and in service to you and your goals. This talk comes out of one of my books called A Culture of Excellence, Virtuous Leadership Principles for Organizational Success, a management system. And there on the cover slide are the four cardinals, or the four cardinal virtues: prudence, justice, fortitude, and temperance. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, I am here to help you raise your leadership brand and your leadership skills. So this is my logo that I created while taking a class many years ago. And I thought, you know what, why don't you think about possibly creating a logo for your leadership brand as well? So I'd like to invite you to live virtuously. Okay, so here's the table of contents. My page, personality and leadership traits as organizational assets. Have a vision and explain why it matters. I love that, right? So you're going to think about that for yourself. We're going to talk about a character trait pyramid, 5 important factors that affect leadership, and have a coherent vision and inspire others. And then finally, the conclusion. Okay, so here is my About page, and if you want to read through that, you can kind of do that and stop the slide maybe later, but let me just continue on. What is your passion? I always like to ask that. So think about, what are your passions in life? I always say, when they tell us follow your interests, well, they never really explain why, or whoever they are, but we're never told why. And I'm going to give you my why. Because if you follow your interests, whatever those may be, you're going to love what you do. You're going to love learning about it. You're going to be a lifelong learner. You're going to always stay on top of your game. You're going to research anything that's new in your area. And you're going to improve yourself along the way. And then because of the actions that you have taken as that self-improvement, you'll be able to help others as well. And you'll be the expert in whatever your passion is. So that's why it's important to follow your passion and your interests and to develop yourself, of course. Okay, so personality and leadership traits as organizational assets. Similar to how a principle-centered leadership model can positively impact organizational effectiveness, personality and leadership traits can play a dominant role in whether leaders are successful leading self, others, and organizations. Leading in non-traditional global and virtual organizational structures requires an understanding of cultural dimensions, as well as necessary leadership skills and attributes needed to motivate cross-cultural virtual teams. New perspectives and theories for a 3-dimensional leadership framework with a genuine global leadership mindset can advance through education and professional development, which is what you're doing for yourself today, right? You're growing your leadership skills and your understanding. So moreover, the ongoing growth of leadership understanding involves people skills, certain traits, behaviors, actions, personality, attributes, and mindset that can encompass a multitude of effective theories and models. Furthermore, leadership theory in combination with cross-cultural awareness can provide opportunities for many attributes to coexist in every cultural and theoretical dimension. So start thinking about, what are your personality attributes? For example, in Asian countries, attributes such as equality, friendship, civility, and harmony are highly valued characteristics, while in Western cultures, such as the U.S., autonomy, independence, competitiveness, and charisma are highly valued qualities in the workplace. Have a vision and explain why it matters. So here we have a couple of things for you. Intellect, openness, right, which you have today because you're learning something new. Prudence, agreeableness, ascendance, and adjustment. Foundational and inferred leadership themes include having a vision and the ability to explain why it matters. Competence, such as being good at business, decisiveness, such as having the ability to make sound decisions, and integrity, meaning the capability to keep one's word and not play favorites. I love integrity. In addition to these attributes, many other leadership traits, behaviors, actions, skills, and personality characteristics greatly matter as well and can be viewed as organizational assets when leaders possess them. Other valued characteristics include persistence, humility, and personal dimensions, such as the ones that I have listed here for you. So for intellectual openness, that can mean vision and curiosity. For prudence, that can mean advanced conscientiousness, astuteness, and wisdom. Agreeableness can mean social charm. Ascendance means social potency. Interesting, right? How much social potency do we have? And then finally, adjustment can mean about issues regarding your core self-esteem. Do you have the ability to make adjustments within yourself? All right, so let's move on. And the next slide, we're going to go over a character trait pyramid. So this graphic represents a character trait pyramid, and we're going to start from the bottom. Honesty and integrity, trust and trustworthiness, faithfulness, obedience, justice, and mercy. So our bottom foundation is we want to be honorable people, right? And then get things done. That's the next step up. Do we have vision, commitment, and discipline? And vision is very important. So what is our vision? What is your vision as a leader, and as your brand that you're going to convey to others and to the world and people that you work with and go to school with? How can you raise commitment in others toward your vision? And then, of course, discipline is important. You know, obviously, if you get through a degree, you have discipline. And that's something that we can always work on. And it's also something that if you're good at personal or self-discipline, it's something that you can teach others, because not everybody is good with discipline. I know I've had to work at that throughout my life. All right, so the next step up is engagement, selflessness, and respect. And then motivation. What is our attitude, and do we have courage? I love that. And then finally, make good decisions at the top of the pyramid, and we want to operate always from a basis of truth, right? The truth, objective truth, not subjective truth. And there you see the arrows there, entry level, mid-level, senior level. All right, so if you're interested in where this comes from, you can take a look at this citation I have here, Character-Driven Leadership, 12 Traits. Okay, so 5 important factors that affect leadership. Furthermore, 5 important factors affecting leadership can include the following. And I may have more than 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've got more than 5. Okay. So employees do not quit companies. They quit their supervisor. Interesting, right? Like, how many times have you quit, if you have? And was it because the company, you weren't happy there, or was it the direct management that you were working with? So if we know that people quit because of a supervisor, what kind of manager, supervisor are you going to be, so that you can foster the well-being of your staffers and help them grow in the organization? All right, the next one is the connection between unit performance and leadership is reconciled by staff morale. So staff morale is always important. I know, I like to enjoy the work that I do, which is why I do it. This is why I create these leadership presentations for you, because, I have high morale in the type of work that I do and the messages that I want to convey to you. And how do you do that if you're going to be a leader or a manager or a supervisor of others? How are you going to promote staff morale, have high morale, so that people have buy-in with you, with your vision, and your brand benevolence and benevolence toward the organization? The next one is negative business results occur when staffer satisfaction is low. Very interesting, right? So if their morale is very low, well, that's when we're going to start seeing problems with people, right? They may, want to steal something. They may cheat. They may lie. They may hide things. It could be a multitude of things. They could self-sabotage. But, so we always want to work on improving the morale of the people around us, which is why I spend so much time on what is your leadership brand, because your leadership brand can set the tone for everyone that encounters you. Okay, the next one is positive business results occur when staffer satisfaction is high. Employee satisfaction is directly impacted by the personalities of supervisors. Very interesting, right? So this is another reason why I always say we as leaders and managers, we want to work on ourselves, because we are the visionaries, the big picture people, and people want to follow people they admire and they respect and even love. Okay, so the next one, moreover, poor leadership can be costly. For example, poor supervisors create negative business outcomes and alienate employees. Poor supervisors may interview well and can be hired based upon possessing business knowledge and technical skill, but not always based upon possessing a talent for leadership. So you want to think about all of those themes and ideas so that you can develop your skills, your personality traits, your attributes, so that, I always like to think of it this way. I want to be beloved by my students. I want to be beloved by the people that I'm helping elevate their skills. And how do we do that? Okay, so, and again, I always mention that it's going to be different for each of us. You're going to have your own style and your own brand. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. This one is about having, did I skip that one? No, let's get down to this one. Important factors that affect leadership. And you know what? I think I already read through that. That was just the last slide. So those were some of those things that we just talked about. And so now let's move on to having a coherent vision and how to inspire others. So leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Isn't that interesting? All right, so you have the vision, you're going to set the stage, the tone, and how do you translate that in the people that you're working with into something that is tangible, that improves the lives of everyone involved? Having the ability to lead involves a fundamental role in creating a sense of community with a coherent vision and inspiring individuals, teams, organizations, and self to greatness. Even inspiring yourself, right? So we want to inspire everyone to greatness. And as I always say, Aristotle, his quote, magnanimity is one of the virtues, and that's the magnanimity of greatness. And we can achieve that in ourselves, in our country, in our communities, in the people that we're working with, if we can help them build the virtues within them, the traditional virtues. So furthermore, leaders who lead with boundless enthusiasm, high energy, and sharing knowledge have the ability to create a sense of purpose and motivate others. I love that. Leadership is not similar to management. A significant element distinguishing a leader from a manager is the leader's competency in inspiring others to perform collaboratively and creating milestones for future action plans. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so in conclusion, let me read this here for you, this John Quincy Adams quote. So we want to believe in vision and our team. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. I love that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so let's take a look at some questions that I want to pose for you. And I want you to walk away from this and reflect on this throughout the day and the week. And how might you answer these questions for yourself? What is your vision for the future? So what is your vision for yourself, for your community, for your family, for society, for your nation? And how will you inspire others to follow whatever that vision happens to be? Okay, so that closes out the talk. And I have the references here. And of course, I said that it came out of one of my books, A Culture of Excellence, Virtuous Leadership Principles for Organizational Success, a Management Plan. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It is always my honor and my pleasure to serve you. Goodbye, and God bless.